Hare Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vyasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Om Guru Bhyo Namah, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guru Namah, Sri Jai Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna, today we will be discussing Chapter 7 of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, Text 5, Translation. Besides this inferior nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. Here it is clearly mentioned that the living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is a matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of the material nature, namely gross is earth and subtle is mind, are products of inferior energy. The living entity who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energies of Supreme Lord. And it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy. The living entity energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful as an intelligent man thing. The distinction between the living entity and Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam of 10th canto of 87th text. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as the minute energies of your Lordship, then they are at once and to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that constitutional position, only can they be controllers. Therefore, men with a limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and the living entities are equal in all respects are actually misleading themselves and others. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. These living energies are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme. But they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of the power. While exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy of matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity, but when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusionary material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks, I am matter and material acquisitions are mine. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with the God. Therefore, one may conclude that the Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna, and when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna Consciousness or liberated. Text 6, Translation. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, known for certain that I am both its origin and dissolution. Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is the basic field of creation, and matter is created by spirit. Spirit is not created at certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only on the basis of the spiritual energy. This material body is developed because spirit is present within matter. A child grows gradually to boyhood and then to the manhood because of that superior energy, spirit soul being present. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation of the gigantic universe is developed because of the presence of the super soul Vishnu. Therefore, spirit and matter, which combine together to manifest the gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the God. And consequently, the Lord is the original cause of everything, a fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. Namely, the living entity may be manipulation of material energy construct a skyscraper, factory, a city, but he cannot create matter out of nothing. And he certainly cannot construct a planet or a universe. The cause of the universe is the Supersoul Krishna, the supreme creator of all individual souls and the original cause of all causes, as the Katha Upanishad confirms. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanam. Text 7 Translation. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me, everything rests upon me, and pearls are strung on a thread. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on thread. There is a common controversy over whether the Supreme Absolute Truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad-Gita is concerned, the Absolute Truth is personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the Absolute Truth is a person, that the personality of Godhead is a Supreme Absolute Truth, is also the affirmation of Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is, the Supreme Absolute Truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the Absolute Truth is a Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version given. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings and lower animals, but beyond Brahma there is a transcendence who has no material form and is free from all material contamination. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam, but this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss and knowledge as described in Brahma Samhita. Quoted above, other verses in Svetastavar Upanishad subordinate as this follows. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is the transcendental to all material conception of darkness. Only he knows him can transcend the both bonds, birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person because he is the supremest. He is the smallest than the smallest, and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree, and he illuminates the transcendental sky, and the tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses one concludes the Supreme Absolute Truth is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. Text 8 Translation. O son of Kunti, Arjuna, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and moon, the syllable Om and the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. This verse explains how the Lord is all-pervasive by his diverse material and spiritual energies. The Supreme Lord can be preliminarily perceived by his different energies, and in this way he is realized impersonally. As the demigod in the sun is a person and is perceived by his all-pervading energy, the sunshine. Similarly, the Lord, although in his eternal abode, is perceived by his all-pervading decisive energies. The taste of a water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink a sea water because the pure taste of the water is mixed with salt. Attraction for water depends on the purity of the taste, and this pure taste is one of the energies of the Lord. The impersonalist perceives the presence of the Lord in water by its taste, and the personalist also glorifies the Lord for his kindly supplying water to the quench of a man's thirst. That is the way of perceiving the Supreme practically speaking. There is no conflict between a personalism and impersonalism. One who knows God knows that the impersonal conception and the personal conception are simultaneously present in everything and that there is no contradiction. Therefore, the Lord Chaitanya establishes his sublime doctrine. The light of the sun and the moon is also originally emanating from the Brahma Jyoti, which is the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. Similarly, Pranava or Omkara, transcendental sound used in the beginning of very Vedic hymns to address the Supreme Lord, also emanates from him. Because the impersonalist souls very much afraid of addressing the Supreme Lord by his innumerable names, they prefer to vibrate the transcendental sound Omkara. But they do not realize that Omkara is the sound representation of Krishna. The jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is blessed. Those who do not know Krishna are in illusion, and so knowledge of Krishna is liberation, and ignorance of him is a bondage. Text 9. Translation. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire, and I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all ascetics. Punya means that which is not decomposed. Punya is original. Everything in the material world has a certain flavor or a fragrance, as a flavor and fragrance in the flower, or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated flavor, the original flavor which permeates everything, is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So everything original has some smell, some fragrance, and some taste. Vibhava means fire. Without fire we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to the low temperature in the belly. So even for a digestion, fire is needed. In Krishna consciousness, we become aware that earth, water, fire, air, and every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to Krishna. The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. Text 10. Translation. O son of Partha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the power of the powerful men. Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. In contact with material nature, the seeds fructifies its various living entities, mobile and inert. Birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contaminated within the scope of 8,40,000 within the scope of 8.4 million spaces of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life in Krishna, as stated in the Vedic literature, Brahman or the Supreme Absolute Truth is that from which everything is emanating. Krishna is a Parabrahman. The Supreme Spirit, Parabrahma, is impersonal and Parabrahma is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect that is stated in Bhagavad-Gita. Therefore, originally Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of the tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in this material manifestation. This is also confirmed in Vedic literature. Yathavoya imani bhutani jayanti. The Supreme Absolute Truth is that from which everything is born. He is the Prime Eternal among all eternals. He is the Supreme Living Entity of all living entities, and He alone is maintaining all life. Krishna also says that He is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Text 11. Translation. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, or Lord of Bharatas. O Lord of Bharatas. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life, according to religious principle, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna's consciousness. Textual translation. All states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the mode of this material nature. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to the law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations of Supreme Lord Krishna, but Krishna is not subject to the material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Which ends the text and translation of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Chapter 7 of Text 12. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Keep listening.